Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Say It Out Loud Jiji podcast. I am your host, Judith Diaz. Before we get into this podcast, I would like to thank our sponsor, Leslie and Siami Styles, for sponsoring this program, and Anointed News Journal by Chris Collins. Thank you also as well for sponsoring this program. I am pre-recording this and it's about 4:30 in the morning, and that's like the best time for me to just have a clear mind and have what other people call downloads in their head. And one of the things that I was just thinking about and processing, um, I got on pretty early on Facebook and saw a couple posts, and it's just positive. I love seeing positive message, positive posts, just seeing how people evolve. And I wanted to just start. I've never told anyone or gotten or made a video about how I started working with teens and my journey with it. And I have to thank Community Brings Learning for this, because I started coaching their teens. Community Brings Learning is a nonprofit organization. It's a ministry that work with teens. I also work with agriculture and also a ministry that they do and spread the word of God. And I met the founder, Tarika, through an art festival, an art crawl over in my hometown city, Camden, New Jersey, and we just connected from there. I am in the coaching industry, in the in mental health industry, so we got to talking, to just building this amazing relationship, and I started coaching her teens and just doing sessions with the neighborhood center. I've done in the community, just started outreaching with the teens and presenting what I use for adults, right? Presenting in the teens and helping them build themselves. So the program, Your Growth Plan, works for adults as well as for teens, and that's the program that currently now we have established for our workshops for teens, and that was about 3 to 4 years ago, and just you can imagine from there that industry that just opened doors. I've done presentation in Camden County College. I've also done with youth transition. So just a whole wide door open for me when it came to youth, which that was not in my plans, as I wanted to work with women, right? Empowering women and just uplifting women. But that wasn't in the cards for me. How they say that just wasn't the journey that God had for me. And as of today, I work with teens as well as in adults, but mostly my focus is on teens. And since then, I have seen so many people just evolve and connected and started working with teens. And I would like to say that I hope I have inspired them to do so, and just to see that, to see how people you have been following for years have evolved, and you see them working with teens today. It's just, to me, it's amazing. And one of the things that I was just thinking about was, if something was to happen to me, God forbid, today, right? If I was to be called home and I no longer exist, Judith Diaz no longer exists, will my company, Say It Out Loud Gigi, will it continue? I know I have a legacy, so I know people are going to remember me, but they're going to remember me through the relationships I have built, through the partnerships I have built, through the way I pour into people. And I I don't build relationship on a business mindset. I build relationship on a personal mindset, then evolves into business. And I think that that is one of the strongest foundations that anybody could do, because that's when you start leaving a legacy behind. But I started thinking, like, if something happens to me today, will say it out loud, Gigi, continue. Like, and and the truth of the matter is, the answer is no, right? Because everyone in my family has their own thing going on, has their own, um, whether it's a small business, whether it's a career, they have their own path. And as much as I am building and sacrificing and doing all these things for Say It Out Loud Gigi, I will hope to one day leave it for my kids and my kids continue on this legacy. But the truth is that my company and Say It Out Loud Gigi, it's built on authenticity, right? It's built on be yourself and learn your own path, right? And create your ways, because everybody has a different calling. And as much as I want to leave something behind for my kids, what if that is something they choose not to do? I don't want them to feel that they are obligated to continue this legacy because I work hard and I did a lot of sacrifices. No, I want my kids to be authentic and find their way. And if their way is Say It Out Loud GG because that's something that is in their heart and they want to continue, then by all means, that's something that I want to leave behind. But, and if that is something they don't want to do, where do Say It Out Loud GG stands? And that was a hard question for me to answer at 4:30 in the morning. So the biggest thing I thought was, maybe Say It Aloud Gigi wouldn't be standing if something happens to me. But the seeds I have planted will bloom one day, and the relationships I have built. So I ask you today at this moment to just reflect. Take a moment to just reflect. Take the time to reflect and to just think. The building you are building, right? The business you're building, but it's a nonprofit, whether it's an LLC, anything it is, organization, a foundation, it doesn't matter what it is. Will it be something that will continue when you are no longer here? Or will it be something that you hope to continue in the obligations of, well, this is my legacy, my kids will carry it on, and not thinking if this is something they want to do or not do? Will your company continue to exist after you, after that hard work and the sacrifices that you have done? So at that moment of me thinking this and questioning myself, I just realized that it's more important to build partnerships and collaborations, because that's how your legacy will continue, when people believe in what you do and how you pour into people. And I just realized that that has more value and it's more important than actually having a company, right? Because we all want to work for ourselves. We all want to build something. We all want to make money. But the truth is, in the matter, we don't take none of that with us. We survive it while we're living, and we help those and we help our families, and, and we live comfortable lives, and we get to buy things we want, the material things we want. But at the end of the day, what is our purpose here on earth? What is our mission here on earth? To just live that life, live to work, to afford material things, to do that? Or is it to plant seeds that will bloom, that would flourish, that would continue a legacy? Because sometimes when we think of legacy, we think of the material things we leave behind. And at the end of the day, it's not. And I could say that through Martin Luther King Jr., a good example. He has left a legacy because he had left a message that was so powerful and so important than what he left materialistically here. So that's what legacy is about. So I just started thinking that, if something happens to me, what will my company become, right? What is all these sacrifices and these things? What would it become? You know, I would definitely be remembered, but not because I had a company called Say It Out Loud Jiji, but because I've poured, because of the presentations I've done, because of the collaborations I've done, the partnerships, those talks, those little simple things that mean so much more than a huge industry. Now, I'm not saying do not get motivated. Keep growing your business, keep growing your company. But I think that finding the balance, it's the key, right? So instead of all of us being out here trying to build um, these small businesses, and it's fine, right? And we're going to have competition and we're going to do this and we're going to research our market and we're going to do all this stuff that in the business aspect we are shown and we teach, right? And we go to seminars to learn all this. But the truth of the matter is, I want you to just take a moment and reflect. If you no longer exist today, what would your company become? Leave it in the comments. Share your thoughts. Because to me, that question hit home. And to me, the relationships I build, the collaborations I make, and the partnerships I make through my company will be the mark that I leave and the legacy I leave behind. Because if I pass on today, Say It Out Loud, Gigi probably won't exist a month later after I pass. Because if one thing I have learned through grief is that life continues. It doesn't stop when you lose a person. It doesn't stop when this person no longer exists. Your life continues. And the relationship you build and the collaborations you make are the ones that are remembered the most. So what do you want to be remembered by? A solo company or a company that is built on collaboration and partnership? Food for thought. Thank you once again for watching this episode. Please leave your comments. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Once again, thank you to our sponsor, Leslie and Siani Style, for sponsoring this program, and Anointed News Journal by Chris Collins for sponsoring this program. Until next episode.